Um, from the side of Judicial Service Commission and the Judiciary, we don't see why there should be any tussle, because there shouldn't be any at any given time, because what governs the relationship between the three arms of government is the Constitution of 2010. And we must be alive to the fact that this Constitution was passed by the people of Kenya. And I don't think there's anybody amongst us in either of the arms of the government that has a discretion to choose what to implement and what not to implement. The three arms are separate. We accept they're interdependent. But speaking specifically to the issue of the independence of the judiciary, that is not something that can be negotiated, because it's a constitutional imperative. It's expected that judiciary must be independent. And we must accept that that is in the interest of everybody, including the politicians, because nobody would want a judiciary that can kowtow to any party. In fact, we keep saying that you may not see the need for an independent judiciary probably when you're in power. But when you're not in power, that's when you realize the importance of that institution, because it is the same institution that will be able to serve and protect you. So judiciary will remain independent regardless, because that's what is expected of it by the 2010 Constitution. And judges, let's remember one thing. Judges and judicial officers, they'll sometimes rule in favor of a party, and other times they rule against, depending on the facts and evidence and the law of the matter at hand. That is normal. There's nothing unusual about that. And the government, the executive to be specific, is a party like any other. When a judge is hearing a matter, they don't consider that this is government, this is non-government. This is state, this is a non-state, actor. It is based on the law, facts, and evidence of the time. And let me say this, even for us as Judicial Service Commission, there are many, remember we are the employers, we are the ones who employ the judges and judicial officers, we are the ones who take them through disciplinary process. They also rule against us many times. And when they rule against us, we go through the process, we'll appeal. If we win, we are happy. If we don't win, we just comply with the orders. And if there's anything that we need to rectify in terms of our policies or processes, we rectify and we move on. We've never threatened them, because we appreciate and accept that judges have decisional independence. And that is not something that we can do anything about, and we can't interfere with it. And even in other jurisdictions all over the world, like recently, for you members of the media, you may be aware about the, big decision that was made against the Netanyahu government by the Supreme Court, where they struck out some laws that, the Knesset had passed. And that is it. You've seen what happened even in the UK, when the UK government wanted to repatriate some refugees to Rwanda. The court said, no, you are using the wrong process. So there's nothing unusual, whether in Kenya, whether in UK, whether in Israel, whether in fact, I saw in the media, the new president of Argentina, he was coming up with the labor reforms. And those labor reforms were struck out by the courts. So we must accept that we have a 2010 Constitution, and the earlier we put that in our mindset, it will be easier for us, so that we don't spend too much time looking for ways and means of circumventing the Constitution. We just abide by it. And if you have any issue with a judge or JO regarding any decision they make, there's a due process. You can complain to the Judicial Service Commission, but alive to the fact that even for the Judicial Service Commission, we'll also be duty bound to follow the due process. It's not that we can just take action against a judge or JO because you've said so. We have to look at the evidence and we take them through the process. And if they are culpable, then the law will just take its course. So there shouldn't really be a tussle.